Alright, so just a little bit of footage before I head off to work. So basically, I let the air filter air dry. I cleaned it out last night. So I had this old K&N kit, and I used a combination of this cleaner. This was taking a little bit too long, even though it's still some in there, because this is an older kit that I had from a while back. But I also got this SBC filter recharge kit. So that's the nice thing about these air filters. When you get those cotton guys, or it's like a K&N, or this particular filter right here is a Spectar, but it's actually true fact. K&N bought Spectar not long ago. But anyway, I'm just using the recharge kit, some leftover that I had. So I used all of this up. So I'm gonna throw this box and stuff away. I still got the cleaner, but as far as the actual recharge stuff, I'm gonna re-oil it with this. So I used up all the K&N oil already on there. So I got a few more spots I need to kind of hit. Cause well, with this one right here, you kind of start at the top and just let it drain down. So I know it's gonna take a while to dry. So basically, I sprayed the cleaning solution on it, and I rinsed it out with water. So pretty much you spray all your, because all your debris is mostly on the outside. So you spray it down real good to soak up all that dust and debris, and then so you spray it down to soak up all that dust and debris. Then you take your water hose, like low pressure, and basically you wash it through the inside. So you let your water go through that side and come out the outside until you get all the soap and residue out. And then it's gonna kind of look like it's like a white or the cotton gauze color. And then you basically let it dry. So I let this dry overnight. I kind of like use a cheating method. So I kind of speed dried it with this fan here. So I had this fan on the ground blowing air towards it. So I did that. So now I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna take this applicator from this SBC kit, because they give you a lot. They give you a lot in there, because that's the cold air box I got on my truck is a pretty like big filter, like one of those cone filters. So I actually got, this is just the bottle. I actually got another bottle to like fill this up with, but this is the applicator here. So I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna hold the filter. I'm holding the camera right now, but I'm actually hold the filter kind of up, and I'm gonna aim it in there and kind of just let it, I'm just kind of hit the areas I need to hit and just kind of like let it drain down. And I'm gonna let it be drying while I'm at work. So that's what I'm doing to that. All right, guys, I'm back out here on the Chevy, about to get this thing fired up. So I got the air filter charged up. I charged the battery, so the battery's charged up, fully charged to 100%. So right now, what I'm doing, I got the distributor wired up. Basically, just connected all the connections, like the ignition hot, the ground, and the tack wire. And then I'm getting my spark plug wires back on. So one tip that I used over the years is like I marked the bottom of these spark plug wires to kind of, so I can remember where they go back to. Cause I kind of got them like routed a certain way and stuff like that. So I ain't got to be trying to trace down each one. Like this right here, number 7. So I ain't got to be trying to trace it down over here just to see that it is going right there. So getting that on there. You know, sometimes you kind of you know, forget the firing order. I didn't really forget, I just need a little refresher, so I just broke out one of the books here. so I broke out one of my books. So I just got to put the rest of the spark plug wires on there, and then I still got to put this spark plug back in here, down over there. So I'll be putting that in there shortly, and then we're gonna see what we got. So, all right, here we go. It's about time to see what it's gonna do. So got everything back together. Got all the ignition wires connected back over there. Got my spark plug in. I should have the timing pretty much in the ballpark area. I just connected the battery, and just got the battery connected until I find my keys. Here we go. Got keys. Alright, so let me see what we got going on here. So the screen just powered up. I did connect the connector over there for the main power and fuel pump wire for the fuel injection. And right there you can hear the fuel pump priming the system. So pretty much what I like to do, go in here to the, just real quick, just because I had the throttle plate off. So I'm gonna go down through here and looking for the basically the what's that, the throttle position sensor. Should be under here as TPS. There we go. So I'm just gonna make sure that the gas pedal is going to 100% when I press it to the floor. Make sure. I probably gotta do a little bit of adjusting on that. It shouldn't be off far, but that's also got a lot to do with the transmission. So it's probably just the carpet in here. So I may have to mess around with the adjustment a little bit, make sure that throttle body is opened up to 100%. Because I did have to move that, but I should be able to go ahead and fire it up. So I had the battery hooked, so everything in here is kind of just going through a cycle. But I'm gonna go ahead and connect my my timing light. That way I'll be ready to start adjusting the distributor in case it's off slightly. All right, so I'm about to see what we got real quick. There we go, got a little something, but sound like my time is off a little bit because that gas coming out the, that gas smell coming out the tailpipe is smell pretty raw. But we got a little something. But basically I got this cardboard back here, not this cardboard, but this cardboard box. Got that back there so I don't be getting all kind of like exhaust stuff on the wall. So I kind of started painting in my garage, but I don't want to mess up the paint on the wall because I got the car back in. Alright, so this time here it's starting on up. I just had to basically back the distributor off just a little bit. All right, so right now it's firing up pretty much every time you hit it now, but I'm probably gonna end up repositioning my distributor so it's a little bit more straighter. So I'm just gonna right now I'm just letting it run for a little bit, let the temperature kind of warm, kind of let the engine warm up, get up the temperature. That's kind of important when you got fuel injection, because that way let it warm up, and then once the idle settle down, then you can start making your adjustments. And then once I get the engine operating temperature, I'm gonna do what you call adjust the total ignition timing. So basically when you do that, basically you rev the engine to somewhere around like 2500 RPM, and then set your final timing. And on this one, on this one right here, I think I'm put it around 36 degrees. That's usually where I have this one at. So usually between 34 and 36 degrees, the total timing is good. But it all depends on your engine and how you got it modified. Alright, so I'm gonna fire it off one more time. Start them up. So this thing sounded pretty good, firing on all 8 cylinders. So far, this thing nice and quiet up under the hood. So I haven't heard the lifter start tapping yet, but it's not quite up to temperature. It's almost there. So I'm trying to let it run about a few more minutes before I shut it down. As you can see, it's nighttime out here. So you know, Friday night, I'm out here making all this noise, but it's running good. So engine got about, let me see, it's around about at least 150, at least around about 150 degrees. So, but I can, that's the nice thing about the fuel injection too. I can come in here, so it says right there the coolant temp at 159. And also, man, this thing was smelling terrible when I first fire it up. That's just because the distributor was just off a little bit. I was pretty much in the ballpark, but I still had to kind of rotate the distributor around a little bit just to kind of get the timing where to fire up. So, but right now it's the base timing is around 16 degrees, and it's pretty much running perfect around there. But then I do need to get it up to operating temperature, but I'm gonna do that another day. So I'm gonna pull it out of the garage, you know, have it in the driveway, that way I can kind of play around with it. Get the distributor clock kind of a little bit more center where I want it. I like to have them close to center or off center, but I don't like to have my distributor like way way off, you know, to the left or the right. To me, I think that kind of look crazy in engine bay, but that's just me. So right now, it's pretty much starting up time I hit it. And this that Fitek fuel injection, so for me the Fitek run pretty good, but I mean it's pretty much similar to how MSD Atomic EFI or what else that is, the Holly Sniper. It's pretty much similar to how they'll run. So, but yeah, man, it feels good, man, having this thing fired up. And so far it seems like it's running smooth. I'm not hearing the lift and tap. Fan on over here too to kind of keep them exhaust fumes down. But pretty much once it run a little bit and the idle settle down, the fumes are really not that bad. It's just that first initial startup. So my fans just keep going. So right around about 180 degrees is when the fans kick on. You run out this variable speed control box, and they'll pretty much just kick on, run about maybe 40-50%. And after about 40-50%, they'll start kicking up as they need to go faster and faster, keep up with the temperature.